Welcome back, students. In the previous classes, we discussed about the biochemical structure of DNA and the biochemical structure of RNA, and we have seen the comparison between DNA and RNA and why the nature has selected the DNA as a genetic material in most of the organisms present on the earth, and why RNA is a genetic material and that is only confined to the virus. So all these points we discussed in the previous videos, and in addition to that we had discussed about the search for genetic material, how the DNA is known as a genetic material and how it is only the transferring from one generation to another generation by different kind of experiments by different scientists, like the transformation experiment and establishing the biochemical nature of the genetic material by that is one experiment, and the transduction experiment. So these three experiments we have done through the detailed discussion. And another thing, how the DNA is packed into a, how compacted and how much small size, from 2 meters, 2.2 meters to micrometers or nanometers, how that is possible. So all these details we discussed in the previous videos. Now we will see the process of replication, the replication of DNA. In this video we will see the detailed explanation of replication of DNA. What is replication and what is the need of replication, how it is replicated. So these three steps we will see. Replication means, first of all, for example, Xerox copy. We have taken one paper and we will put in the Xerox machine, and how much we want the copies, we can generate that many copies. Simply, the replication process is also the same. From one copy to multiple copies. So, why it is needed? Why the process of replication is needed? Let me see here. As we know that from one cell, through the process of mitosis, two cells will come. This is a cell division. For example, here 1 gram of DNA is there. For example, take 1 gram of DNA is there. So while division, you can assume that here 0.5 grams will come. 0.5 grams will come. How it is possible? Because some characters are present in another set. That means here half set is only coming, and here only half of the DNA is coming. That means the number of DNA and the copy number is not same from one cell, from the mother cell to daughter cells, and these two cells will develop the new characters. That is not the basic feature of DNA. Why nature choose the DNA as a genetic material? Because it is maintaining the stability from parental generation to the offspring generation. So for that purpose, now what will happen? What is the use of replication? What is the need of replication? The mother cell before the cell division, you know that cell division process. Before the cell division process, here itself it will replicate its genetic material. That means here itself it will replicate another copy, the same copy here, and it will give now 1 copy 1 gram and 1 copy 1 gram. Understanding? So the DNA, the amount of DNA is same in the offspring cells also. This is the best feature of DNA. That's why nature has chosen the DNA as a genetic material. So before division, cell division only, it is doubling its DNA content, so that as usual the 1 gram will go to this cell and 1 gram will go to this cell. So the number of genes will not change, the amount of DNA will not change. So this is the need of replication. And now how the process of replication will start, and what is the process of replication? Before going to that, first of all we have to know the enzymes required for DNA. It is a very complex process. So to understand that process, to complete that process, several enzymes are required. So first of all, we will see the details of enzymes. Enzymes for replication. Enzymes needed for replication. So we will see what are the enzymes and what are the functions. Enzymes and their function. First one is helicase. So what is its function? It will unwind the double helix DNA. It will unwind the double helix DNA and forms a structure called as replication fork. Replication fork. And another DNA, another enzyme, that is DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase. So what it will do? It will replicate the DNA by adding nucleotides in 5' to 3' direction. So everything you have to remember here. Very important. And third one, primase. It will synthesize. It will synthesize RNA primers. We will see what is the function of each and every enzyme in detail. First of all, I am providing you the list of enzymes at one place which are participating in the process of replication. So this list is also very important, and I am gathering all the enzymes present in the process and I am presenting you here. And next one, DNA ligase. Helpful for binding Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments. So what are those? We will see in few minutes. And the last one is topoisomerases. See, some points are not present in your textbook, but for maintaining the continuity, to establish the link between different steps, we have to know these things. Topoisomerases stabilize the DNA after unwinding or after breaking hydrogen bonds by helicase. So these are the different types of enzymes which are participated in the process of replication, DNA replication. See here, helicase, DNA polymerase, primase, DNA ligase and topoisomerase. And these are the functions of the respective enzymes. Helicase, it will unwind the double helix DNA and forms replication fork. What it will do in detailed manner, we will see in few seconds. And DNA polymerase, it will replicate the DNA by adding nucleotides in 5' to 3' direction. And here, the primase, it will synthesize the RNA primers. So here, why we are using RNA primers? We are talking about DNA polymerase. And why we are talking about RNA? So that link we will establish. And DNA ligase, helpful for binding Okazaki fragments. So what are Okazaki fragments? And topoisomerases. They will stabilize the DNA after unwinding or breaking hydrogen bonds by helicase. So these are the list of enzymes. We will see what are those. And now we will move into the process of replication. Now, broadly it is divided into 3 steps. The first step is unwinding of double helix DNA. Unwinding of double helix DNA. So, what is this process? We have to see. For example, the DNA is like this, unwinded double helix. For the action of replication, for the process of replication, the DNA has to unwind each other. That means here, see, the helix is formed because of hydrogen bonds between different nitrogen bases. For example, here, this is the nitrogen base and this is nitrogen base. For example, it is adenine, it will be the thymine. If it is guanine, it will be the cytosine. It will be the cytosine, it will be the guanine. Like that, with the help of hydrogen bonds, the 2 different strands are make helix each other. So, for the process of replication, we have to unwind the helix. We have to separate the 2 strands. So, that process will be done by the enzyme helicase. So, we will see. The helicase will act here. The helicase will act here and slowly it will unwind the 2 helix. So, as a result, it will unwind. You have to imagine this process, this strand is helix only. Here slowly the enzyme acted and it will unwind the 2 strands. So, you have to imagine like this. And now, the helicase is slowly moves like this, in this direction. In this direction. And along with its movement, it will start the unwinding also. Again, it will unwind this one. And again, it will unwind this one. Like this, the total DNA will be unwinded by the helicase enzyme. You have to imagine. And now, so what are the bonds which are breaking during this unwinding? The bonds are hydrogen bonds. Because those hydrogen bonds only linking the 2 strands. So this helicase is breaking those hydrogen bonds and makes the DNA helix unwinding. Understanding? Now, due to the breakage of some bonds, some disturbances will be there in the structure. So, to stabilize that structure, the topoisomerase will act and makes it stabilizing. Understanding? Now, we have to understand the direction of DNA and the direction of enzymes present in the sequence. Now it is somewhat unwinded and this is unwinded. So as you know that we have discussed the polarity also. What is 5' end, what is 3' end. So the free OH molecule, if it is present, that is 3' end, and free phosphate is present, that is 5' end. Now the helicase started its journey and it unwinded the double helix DNA. Now, the second enzyme, DNA polymerase will start its action. Understanding? So, we will see first of all the process in broad manner, then again we will discuss in detail. Now, the DNA polymerase will start its action from 5' to 3' direction. Understanding? The helicase is traveling in this direction. So, in the same direction, the DNA polymerase synthesizes the new strand. For example, the DNA polymerase starts synthesizing in this direction because if this is 3 prime end and this is the new strand, this will be the 5 prime end and this will be the 3 prime end. So then only the complementary will be established. And again, slowly, like this. So here 3 prime end. This here 5 prime end. This is one DNA molecule. And here, again, like this. 3 prime to 5 prime to 3 prime. So this separates one as a DNA molecule and this separates as another DNA molecule. So this is how the DNA replication will. This is how the DNA happens. So now we discussed about unwinding of double helix DNA molecule. So now the second step is formation of RNA primer. So here what is the use of RNA primer? We are discussing about replication of DNA and what is the use of RNA primer here. So that means here we have to know that some characters of DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase cannot start the replication process, cannot synthesize the new strands from the scratch. That means from starting point it cannot start its function. It needs something to initiate its function. Understanding? Now, here we discussed that DNA polymerase will start its function in this direction. But at starting, it cannot start its own function. Something has to be there. Something has to be there to initiate the function of DNA polymerase. That is RNA primer. So it will bring some nucleotides which are complementary to that. What is meant by complementary? Adenine is bonded to thymine. So this is complementary. If adenine is like this is not a complementary. Understanding? This is complementary. Given by Chargaff. So the RNA molecule, RNA primer will bring some nucleotides which are complementary, and then DNA polymerase will be stimulated and starts the synthesis further. So this formation of RNA primer was done by enzyme primase. Primase will bring the RNA primer which is complementary to this, and it will initiate, it will stimulate the DNA polymerase. Understanding? Now we will see the detailed process of replication. Listen carefully, it is very complicated. I am trying to present you here in a simplified manner. So listen carefully and make the notes of each and every point what I am discussing on the board. See here, the helicase. I am drawing the helicase. The helicase enzyme in this shape. DNA polymerase in this shape, and primase in this shape. You have to remember. Now, previously the DNA is like this. Helicase entered here and starts unwinding the two strands. As a result, they will go aside. So here the helicase is there in this direction. The helicase is acted in this direction, and we have this is 5 prime and this is 3 prime end. This is 3 prime and this is 5 prime end. This is the complementarity and the polarity of the strands. Now, once the helicase unwinded the DNA molecule, unwinded the double-stranded DNA molecule, now the RNA primase will synthesize the RNA primers, which is complementary to here. Complementary to here. Now then, the DNA polymerase will initiate its function. The DNA polymerase initiates this function, which is has to maintain the complementarity. So that means here, if it is 3' end, it is 5', and this is 3' end, and here 5'. That means if you cut the DNA here, the strand here is the polarity is 5' only, because the whole strand is 5'. If you cut here, this is 3' end only. So as a complementarity, we have to synthesize the new strand in a complementary manner. So it is obviously the 5' end, and this is the 3' end. So as a result of a movement of helicase in this direction, the DNA polymerase will also move in this direction further and synthesize the whole DNA molecule. So here the synthesis is continuous, no breakage. That's why this strand is known as leading strand. This strand is known as leading strand. Or continuous strand. Because the process of replication is continuous here, no breaking. As the helicase is going and unwinding, the DNA polymerase is also moving behind that and adds the complementary nucleotides. Like this. So complementarity was established. As a result, new strand will be synthesized. Now, what about this strand? Here, again, we have to know the basic. The DNA polymerase will start in 5' to 3' direction. That means already this is 5'. This end is 3'. So the DNA polymerase has to start its function in this direction. Then only this is 5' and this is 3'. Complementarity will come. Understand me? The DNA is here, the parent DNA is 3' to 5'. But the DNA polymerase will act on 5' to 3'. So the strand will be synthesized in this direction. Understanding? Now, what is the difficulty of synthesizing here? We have to know. Here, the helicase is same for the two strands, but the basic direction of the helicase is like this. The direction of unwinding of DNA helicase is like this. But here the movement, the synthesizing direction is like this. Now the difficulty came. Observe this side, the helix, DNA helicase direction is same, DNA polymerase direction is also same. So the synthesizing this strand will be very quick and very efficient manner, and it is a continuous. But here the DNA helicase direction is this, the new strand formation direction is this. So here some complexity will be there. So we will see. Now, as a result of these opposite directions, the DNA helicase slowly it will unwind this strand, and RNA primer will come here, and a little bit of DNA polymerase will be synthesized here. And again, new RNA primer will come, and again the strand, and new RNA primase will come here, and new the strand. So this is discontinuous manner, and so many RNA primers will have to start the initiation, because the strand is unwinding discontinuously, leads to the formation of discontinuous strands. So these strands are known as discontinuous strands, and this is lagging when compared to this one. So this is also known as lagging strand. See, this complexity arises due to the direction of DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase always functions from 5 prime to 3 prime end. But here, while synthesizing this strand, it is making some complexity because the DNA helicase is in opposite direction. So, it cannot unwind immediately and it cannot form, DNA polymerase cannot form the complementary strands immediately. It is a very slow process. So as a result of that, several RNA primers has to needed. And the new DNA polymerase will add the new nucleotides in a discontinuous manner. So as a result of that, the complementary strand will form like this. See, this is the continuous, this is the discontinuous. So finally, this is 5 prime and this is 3 prime. This is 5 prime, this is 3 prime. So these two strands are complementary to each other and these two strands are complementary to each other. And now, what happened? This is not your basic form of DNA. DNA is continuous, but here it is discontinuous. Now what will happen? See, I am taking these two strands only. This is 3 prime, this is 5 prime, and these are 3 prime and 5 prime. Now what will happen? See here, the another specialized enzyme, that is DNA ligase. DNA ligase will come. Ligase means binding, helpful for binding. So that will come here and acts here. As a result of that, these two strands will be binded. These two strands will be binded. Like this. Later on, not at the initial step. Later on, after coming this enzyme, this strand again it forms as a continuous. So as a result, from one parent strand, the daughter strand is formed, and one parent strand, another daughter strand is formed. So these two, one DNA molecule, these two, another DNA molecule. Understanding? This is the basic concept of DNA replication. And after that, what will happen? The cell machinery will check all the process is formed in a correct manner or not. Thus, that process is known as proofreading mechanism. What is proofreading mechanism? That means, for example, A has to match with T, G has to match with C. For example, if by mistake, if complementarity is not matched, then that will lead to the mutations in a cell. Whatever the mutation, it will lead, sometimes it will lead to cancer. So that function will be checked by proofreading mechanism. So in this mechanism, it will check all the base pairs, it is bonded, it is binded in a correct manner or not. Then only the cell will allow us into the cell division. So this process, the replication of DNA, is done in the S phase of cell division, cell cycle, S phase. Synthesis phase. So during synthesis phase, the replication of DNA will take place, and in the M phase, that is the mitosis phase, the cell will divide into two daughter cells. Understanding? And one more thing, the place where in the DNA strand, the place where exactly this process will be started. So that place is known as origin of replication. This is the site where the replication process will be started. Then this will be continued and leads to the formation of new strands. So again I am explaining. See, listen carefully. Listen carefully, again I am explaining this one. Basically, this is a double helix DNA. Assume that this is the complementarity by hydrogen bonds, bonded by hydrogen bonds. Now, The helicase enzyme will comes in this manner and starts unwinding this one. So as a result of that, if you had taken this position, it is unwinded the two strands, and here the seed. And slowly the helicase will move in this direction and unwinds this one also. So this is the 5 prime, this is the 3 prime, and this is the 3 prime, and it is the 5 prime. This is the polarity of the DNA molecule. Now the DNA polymerase cannot start its function by its own. It has need some primitive or initiation factor. So that factor is RNA primer given by the enzyme primases. Now the DNA polymerase will start its function and synthesize the new strand. Slowly up to here. So the function of DNA polymerase is from 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So now this entire strand will form as a new DNA molecule. And this is parent, this is daughter. This is parent, this is daughter. And this strand is leading strand. And the polymer, the DNA is continuously synthesizing, no breaking. So this is also known as continuous strand. Continuous strand. Now come to this strand. So here what will happen? Here the DNA polymerase again it is acting from 5 prime to 3 prime. 5 prime to 3 prime. But here the helicase direction is opposite. So that's why here the breakage or the discontinuous manner of formation of the new strands will take place. So as a result of that, RNA primer and again a short strand of DNA, and again RNA primer and again short strand of DNA, again RNA primer and again short strand of DNA. Like this, the entire strand will form. And after the formation of this discontinuous strands, after completion of the formation of all the discontinuous strands, also called as this one lagging strand, then DNA ligase will come and combines all the strands again. Primitively it is discontinuous, then DNA ligase will come and make it continuous. And after the process of the replication, this is again this total. This is one DNA molecule and this is another DNA molecule. So in the daughter cells, this entire content will go into the another daughter cell. This will go into the another daughter cell. So from parent to offsprings, this is how the genetic material is transformed. And before the cell division, again, after the completion of this, the proofreading mechanism will take place. And in that mechanism, the cell machinery again checks whether any mistake is there in the replication process or not. If the mistake is there, that will lead to the mutations. And you know that DNA is not that much prone to the mutations when compared to the RNA. So because the proofreading mechanism only, it is very stabilized. The DNA structure is very stabilized due to proofreading mechanism. So after proofreading mechanism, whether everything is perfect, then the cell will allow the cell division, cell cycle into the further step. Understanding? This is about the DNA replication. In the next class, we will see an experiment done by Missenson and Stahl, who explains this method of DNA replication by experimental methods. And we are also calling this mechanism of DNA replication as semi-conservative method. Semi-conservative method. So why you are calling it a semi-conservative method? Conserving means having the same thing. But here semi, that means half conservation. That means here The semi-conservative mechanism means this is one cell and these are the two daughter cells. Now what will happen? This is the DNA present in the mother cell. Now the mother cell is replicating its DNA. This is the new strand and this is the new strand. And then it is transferring to the offsprings. That means in the offspring, what happened? This is the belongs to mother and this is the new. This is belongs to mother cell and this is the new. That is, each and every cell is conserving half of the copy of or one copy of the DNA strand from the mother. So that's why semi-conservative. If the same thing comes here, the two strands is coming here, that is conservative, full conservation. But here, one strand of the mother is coming here and the new strand is synthesizing. And one strand is coming from the mother and the new strand is synthesizing. That's why we are calling this mechanism as a semi-conservative method. To prove this experimentally, Michelson and Stahl has performed an experiment. We will see in the next class. If you have any doubts, text me in the chat box and we will clarify. I will try my level best to clarify your doubts. Thank you so much.